Well, welcome back, Game Boxians. Get some light. There we are. It's another episode of the $5 Game Box, episode 18. It's like 8:30 at night. It's been kind of like snowing all day. But I'm in the GameCube to go make a sale, because that's how we get money in the $5 Game Box funding wallet. Started with a $5 bill, and we buy and sell and build a great collection of video games, mostly retro games. And in order to keep doing that, we got to make sales. I just made a sale of this Game Boy Advance and 11 like kids games, Pirates of the Caribbean, Kim Possible, SpongeBob SquarePants, other Nickelodeon stuff. $40 I'm selling it for. So that's going to be awesome. I think this came from a garage sale lot earlier this summer, and I think I spent $40 on it. And I got another Game Boy, I got a Nintendo DS from that, a bunch of good Game Boy Advance games, some good DS games that we've kept. So we're basically going to make some money and get the funding wallet up above 100 to start this episode. That's awesome. Now, of course, I'm going out after dark in the cold and the icy roads, but sometimes that's what you got to do. So I'll see you back here in the cube when we got a little bit more cash. All right, back in Casa de Juice Daddy, and I didn't want to pull out the phone in the GameCube. Roads suck; they're really icy, so I thought I'd just take it easy and get home. But we're back. Got the funding wallet, and we should have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 10, 15, 116, 75 cents right there, and $22 in credit to Retro Game Store. Not a bad way to start this episode. No garage sales, thrift stores are sucking, but a lot of people posting some good stuff on Facebook lately, including myself. I've been making a lot of sales of stuff from that $600 haul too. So hopefully we'll get a nice big lot, nice cheap lot of some good stuff. Otherwise, we'll keep grinding and game hunting, and we'll find some good stuff. We always do. I have faith in me. Thanks for watching. Ooh, it's been a while since I turned on the camera for the $5 Game Box. A few weeks. Shows you my luck in finding cheap stuff for the game collection. So I'm at that pawn shop, and it's another half-price Sunday. $8 for 2 games isn't exactly half price for me, but they said their normal price for PS4 games is $10, so $5 for Need for Speed Rivals. $5 is probably still about right, if not maybe even a slight overplay. But hey, complete edition. And normally, what do you say? Normally let's see, I say 5. So yeah, normally $6 for Wii games, so $3 for Far Cry Vengeance, which is complete. I don't have it. There it is. One of the few Wii titles that I would actually play that I did not own, I don't think at least. So, $8 spent on a couple games. Nothing special. They do have some N64 titles, but the best one is probably Superman. Sarge's Heroes 2, which I think I already have. A couple NES titles. Best one they have is Snake Rattle and Roll, which I bought this summer. So that's what I got. Hey, is this an icebreaker? Are we going to finally find some stuff for winter $5 game box hunting? Hopefully. Yo, another pawn. Another 50% off everything except guns. I don't want any guns. $8 spent. So I think this was $5. Just a PS4 title. Zombie Vikings Ragnarok Edition. Looked interesting. Whatever. I'll throw it in the collection for $5. And I guess PlayStation 2 titles are $6, so that would have made this $3 since I spent $8. Sopranos Road to Respect, the limited edition with the bonus disc. It's complete. Everything's in there. Has a slipcover. I don't think I own this game in any way. So, neat. Alright. We're grinding. It's winter in Montana. We're grinding for games. Alright, Game Boxians. I know it's been a long time since the last episode. I've been struggling. ST-ruggling. But, guess who's on another road trip? This guy. I'm on a work trip. I'm in Great Falls, Montana for the next couple days for work. But you know I'm using that off-time work right there to do a tour of Great Falls' finest pawn shops with the $100 we have left in the game funding wallet. I'm at this pawn shop, Alias Smith & Jones Pawn. Not a huge selection of games, but for $6.25, because they're having a 25% off everything sale and a 12 days of Christmas sale where they add an extra percent on the 12 days leading up to Christmas. Today was day 6. 31% off, so it came to $6.25. They had it at $9 originally, which I probably would have bought it for that price. Check it. Doom VR. If you follow the channel, not just the $5 game box, you know I recently picked up a VR for Black Friday. And I've been just hoarding games for it because I love it. It's amazing. And here I see on their shelf Doom VR. And it actually has a demo disc in there as well. I don't think it came with it, but it was in there. He's like, yeah, I just put it out today, man. So I think I already have that. So hey, maybe a VR demo disc is going in the 300 sub contest box. But cool, Doom VR for basically $6.25. I'll take that. On to the next pawn shop. Of course, on the way to a pawn shop, you pass a thrift store. You might as well try. It's a pretty big Salvation Army right here. Let's see if we find any goodies inside. I'll just keep the camera rolling. Why not? A little herky-jerky. You may get motion sickness, but oh well. Check that case. $4 for Madden 13 in the case. Not a good sign. Pretty big media section though. Maybe we'll get lucky. Oh, not as big as I thought it was. Damn. $4. Is that it? There's 3 games in the store. Man, wait. No, it's the subs. Fluffy Gamer, come take a look at these DVDs. I don't know what I'm looking for. Shit, somebody brought in their WWF collection. Looks like I'm sticking to the pawn shops, boys. I don't even want to know what Goodwill looks up around here. Huh. Alright, on to the next. The First National Pawn here, and I've toured about 4 or 5 different pawn shops so far after that Salvation Army bust, and they've all been bust. There's been stuff in them, but I would do overpriced. And not even overpriced on stuff I would actually want. Like, I'm willing to pay, you know, straight price charting or even a few bucks more if it's a game in good condition and one that I want. But, you know, I wanted Echo the Dolphin for the Genesis, but I think it was $6 and it's worth $4.50. Nah, I'm good. Some last pawn shop I was in, I should have taken a. I've never seen so many amazing N64 and Super Nintendo titles in a pawn shop in years and years. But they all were at least $5 overvalued or overpriced. At least $5, each and every one. You know, Quest 64, $20. Like, are you kidding? Really? So, the First National Pawn in Billings, Montana, had really cheap prices. They just didn't have anything I wanted. So I'm kind of hoping the pricing holds true on this store. I see a big selection of multimedia dead set in front of me. Maybe not as big as one in the Billings store. So I'm hoping to find some good games at some pretty cheap prices inside here. Which is actually the same company as that pawn shop from that I picked up that Doom. Elias and Jones, I believe it's called. Anyway, $4 spent. Nothing like flip over backwards, but we have a Lakers versus Celtics in the NBA playoffs. Jordan, baby. Jordan. I think I've got this on Genesis. I'll double check. So this may be going into our 300 sub contest box, which is awesome. It's a good basketball game for the Genesis. There are good sports titles, and not all trash, including, for $2, you can't beat this, a complete copy of NHL 94. I know I have that. It's got the manual, the poster. You see how long it's been in their case. Complete, this is worth about $15 right there. $2. So, I know it's not going in the box because I've already got it, so definitely going to put that in the contest. I wish I could have pulled this camera out in there because, I mean, they had a fair amount of games for sale, but I don't know if you could see, like, there's like an overhang, like an awning, that goes around the store. And maybe I could zoom in, maybe you could see it. Doubtful. I don't know if you can see, that is a Sega CD right there, kind of in the middle of the frame. Genesis is sitting on top of it. That little gray thing right next to it is a Generation Next NES clone. It also plays Famicom games. I've got one of those. I don't have that one specifically, but I've got a Generation Next. On the other side of it, kind of hiding behind this blue thing right here, there is a Atari 2600. All this stuff is not for sale. This is whoever the owner is collecting shit that's like worth something. On the other side of the store, dude's got a complete in-box NES sports set sitting on top of the awning, not for sale. There's a big case with PS4, Xbox One, a few PS2, disc-based games. On top of that case, I'm looking up, it was a really tall case, so I'm looking up at the Xbox One, PS4 games, reading them. I look up a little bit further, a Rob the Robot sitting up there with a fucking layer of dust on him. And then there's like a Game Boy, and then there's a Virtual Boy. There's an NES up there, and there's a cart sticking out, like halfway out of the NES, and it's in Japanese or Chinese writing with like 400. It's like a 401 multi-cart, and there's like a picture of Pac-Man on there. So I just go like, is any of that stuff up there for sale? Nope, none of it is. Like, oh, it's all for display. And that's the thing about it, all these collectibles and shit sitting on top of the awning, it's really cool. Like behind here, behind the bike, like this one right here, there's a WWF WrestleMania ring with a whole bunch of figures, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Rock, Hardy Boys, Alita, Rikishi. And then behind that, against the wall, old school Star Wars toys in box. There's also a Millennium Falcon. There's a Vader's, the bomber, the TIE Fighter bomber, all put together. An X-Wing, none of it for sale. Next to that, 3 Beanie Babies. Dude tells me a lady walked in and offered $1,500 cash for them. They said no. And they looked them up. They went up there. They fucking blew off like the inch of dust that was sitting on them. They looked them up. One was a Princess Diana Beanie Baby, which is one of the Beanie Babies that's still worth something. Like a lot of money. So, what did they do? Did they sell it and make some money? Did they sell it to a customer? No. They just moved the Beanie Babies a little bit further from the edge so somebody couldn't jump up there and snatch them. And they're up there with, like, seriously, like a layer of dust this thick on top of their heads. These fucking, like, $1,000 Beanie Babies. And the WrestleMania ring, and the Rob the Robot, and the Virtual Boy, and that Sega CD. There's a Master System up there as well. I think that's actually the Master System that's kind of hidden behind this blue thing, and then the Atari is right next to that. He's like, oh, we don't think none of them work anyway. I'm like, I'd give you a little bit of money to find out that Sega CD works. And then I said, I'm like, that Rob the Robot, even if it doesn't work, it's got the gyros, and like, but even if it doesn't work, there's Nintendo collectors who would pay money just to have it sitting on their shelves, whether it works or not. If you're not a gamer, if you're not into Nintendo, I guess this guy's just into old stuff, like whoever owns this. But that's kind of a bad thing to be into if you own a pawn shop. That's just my opinion. But if you run a pawn shop, the last thing you want to be addicted to is hoarding old shit. You know, it seems like you want to sell that shit as quickly as possible. I even joked, I'm like, is this like awning thing? Is this whole thing called his retirement? Because that's what it is. Like, well, I'm tired. Time to close up shop and move on. Sell. You know, I'm just guessing lowballing 10 to 15 grand of stuff. I mean, I guess that's not a good retirement, but that's, you know, selling his other inventory, selling the store. It's not bad. But you'd think you know, I don't know, I'm rambling. I'm just kind of amazed. This was more museum than shopping. Yeah, I got a couple decent Genesis titles. They did have, I should say, I'm not having the greatest experience shopping. The Great Falls road trip has been the first bust of the year. Out of Billings, Helena, and Butte. Great Falls is a... But there is a complete sealed Mario Power Tennis for the GameCube in the case where I got these Genesis titles. They want $135 for it, and if I had been drinking, I would have been like, dude, you don't want to sell a Virtual Boy or a Sega CD or an M-Box NES sports set, but you're on to ask $135 for Mario Power Tennis, even if it is sealed on the GameCube. Come on, brah. Honestly. But a nice selection in here, and definitely something worth checking out. Elias, what's it called? Elias and Jones Pawn Shop in Great Falls. DVDs are $1, Fluffy Gamer, if you're watching this. Get in here and score. They probably have no idea what the hell they have. And if I wasn't hungry and it's already like past 7, I'd go and keep touring. They're open till 10. But I'm going to go get some dinner. My God. Wish I had a little bit more time in here. Alright. I think I'm done. I kind of want to hit the Great Falls GameStops because I always find good shit in GameStops outside of Bozeman, but just, you know, it's a work trip. I don't have time. So I think I have to pass through Helena to go get back to Bozeman tomorrow. And that pawn shop that I missed because their hours said that they were open on Sunday, but they turned out to be closed. That pawn shop is right off, like I exit the interstate. If I go left, I'm on my way to Bozeman. If I go right, I go like 5 blocks or so. I'm at that pawn shop. So I may just take a little detour when I get into Helena and hit a pawn shop. And hopefully I find some more goodies there. I wish I could start taking goodies off their fucking ceiling in here. My God. Oh my Lord. It's been months since I turned, well, not months, weeks. It's been a few weeks since I turned on this camera for the $5 game box. It's been a few weeks since that trip to Great Falls. I think I already showed what I bought in Great Falls. And I didn't even make it part of the $5 game box. I haven't taken the... Whatever. I thought we were going to end the $5 game box. I said it in a live stream a couple weeks ago. But I'm going to end it for right now and just kind of do a pickup recap. But I'm going to do one more episode, apparently, with all the footage you've seen so far and this, because this store, it's called New to You, is having half off all their games in certain cases. Not all their games, but in certain cases. And this gave me an Arby's bag full of games that I spent $45 on. So I'm down to $55 in the $5 game box. Wallet. Super Nintendo title is D-Force. They had it priced at $8, so $4. Not a valuable game. I've never heard of it. I don't know what type of game it is. I do know I don't have it. Interesting find. This game is trash. It's a Star Wars Masters of Teräs Käsi. Teräs Käsi. I don't know, but it's in really like fabulous condition. Not valuable. Once again, they had it priced at $5, $2.50. Good condition. Some pretty decent PS3 titles in there. Here's a Test Drive Unlimited 2. Complete. They had it priced at $5. Another $2.50. I believe around a $10 game, $10 to $12 game. Another about $10 to $12 game, Need for Speed Shift 2 Unlimited Limited Edition. Oh, Unleashed, not Unlimited. Fucking Need for Speed has 100 titles. Unleashed, Unlimited, awesome. Complete. There's the online passcode if you want it. It's yours. They had it priced at $6, so $3. Couple decent PS3 titles. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. This case needs some help, but the art itself is fine. So I need to kind of switch cases on it. It's actually pretty, not pricey, but it's worth about $28, I do believe. If I remember my price charting checking in there. Of course, we'll get that in the pickup recap. It is complete if I can keep the manual in there and not have it fall to the floor. And disc is in good condition. I believe it's a late PS3 release. I know this game was on the Wii, too. I think the Wii one's kind of valuable as well. Yeah, this case is borked. It's not holding the manual. Anyway, they had it priced at $18. So $9 for like a $29 game. Not bad. They've had this sitting in there for ages. King of Fighters 12 on PS3. Because they had it priced at $18. But hey, half price, $9, I'll take that. Complete. It is in there. Had a couple other interesting ones. They had a Ghostbusters, a video game, priced at $15. I'm like, I'll get that for half price. But then I looked, and it's not PAL. It doesn't have a PEGI rating on it, but it has like another like foreign rating on it, and it said made in Austria. So I don't think it was worth. I mean, I'm sure it plays on the PS3, but it'd probably be a hard sell. I already own the game, own the NTSC American version. But and I just thought it was kind of interesting that how in the hell did this little pawn shop in Bozeman, Montana get, this region of a PS3 game? Another PS1 title, but it's in this case, it's Star Wars Dark Forces. They've had this in there for a while as well. I don't know if we call it complete, because this is the manual. The manual's in there. It even has, like the freaking insert, like the survey thing. So it's got the manual, and it has the back cover, as it just falls to the floor. So it's got the back cover, it's got the manual and the thing, and the disc is in there. So I guess if I just found a jewel case, it's not, it's kind of torn off, so it wouldn't be complete. But they had it priced at $5, so $2.50 on that. I better get that before it gets too wet on the floor. I think they charged me $1 for this, and that's about right. Robin Hood Defender of the Crown, Capcom game. It's based on the NES Defender of the Crown game. Must have been trash, though, because it's absolutely worthless. About $3 complete, according to price charting, but it's in good condition. I don't have it, and I mean, if it's based on Defender of the Crown, it can't be all that bad. Multiple endings. Oh, interesting. They've had this sitting there for a while, too, and I'm surprised it was still, sitting there, especially if they're doing... I don't know how long this half-price thing's been going on, but Here Comes the Pain is actually shot up in value the last time I checked, and it is complete, and I've thought about buying it a few times at their $10 price, and I have had coupons for like $3 off before, so I've thought about buying it at $7 and trying to flip it, but buying it at $5, sure. And I know I flipped one on Macari in the past couple months. I think I sold it for around $15-16, and the disc is in much better shape than that one that I sold on Macari. So we should be able to flip that. Maybe not an easy flip, may have to be up for a little while, but that's all right. And finally, I've got this Red Ninja End of Honor. Look at that cover. It's ASCII. Who's that? No, Vindy Universal. Okay. Never heard of it. Had it priced at $12, so $6. Not complete, unfortunately. No manual. Disc is in good shape. Complete, it goes for, mid-teens, disc only. But definitely worth $6. Even loose disc is worth $6. One of the biggest disappointments is they had a case for Diablo 3 Eternal Edition for PS3, which is about a $12 game, and they had it priced at, I think, $10, so I would have got it for $5. But I opened it up, and they had the Far Cry compilation PS3 disc. And that thing is actually worth, even loose disc, worth about $15. So I'm like, I'm about to get this for $5. And then I looked at the disc, and it was just, is bad, real bad. Which was a big disappointment, because that would have been cool, and maybe been able to flip it, for over double than what I paid for it. But oh well, $45, I'm definitely not going to complain, and I'm going to do a little bit more game hunting, because it's a beautiful January day in Bozeman, Montana, and you take advantage of those when you get them. So I'm going to finish my Starbucks, I'm going to hit a couple places, and then, God, I don't know how long this episode's going to be. We got like 3 months worth of footage for it. Pickup recap coming. One last episode of the $5 Game Box Season 2 before I take a couple months off from $5 Game Box hunting and wait until spring and G-sales. All right. Hopefully I find some more stuff today, though. All right. So I'm actually here. I just got out of the Retro Store, and I've been sitting on Retro Store credit in the $5 Game Box funding wallet, I think, since we began Season 2. So I'm like, let's wrap up Season 2 by finally spending that credit. I spent all of it plus another $6, and here's what I got. He actually just threw this in. It's MLB on NES. When I did my Juice Daddy collection, all my NES games about a month ago, I was shocked that this wasn't in there. Not that I was like, oh, how am I missing that game? But this was the baseball game I had as a kid. I didn't have a bases loaded on an RBI baseball. I had this. And it sucks. You can't get outs on ground balls of the shortstop. But yeah, it's kind of nostalgic to me. I enjoyed playing it because I loved baseball and I loved my NES as a kid. And of course, unofficially, it's got Ozzie Smith on the cover. There he is. I also got this. This was sitting on a shelf for a while. And once again, I let it sit there forever and ever because I thought I had it, but I didn't. It's not good. Dash Galaxy in the Alien Asylum. So yeah, I'll just add that to the collection. And finally, let's have the last pickup of Season 2 of the $5 Game Box be adding some Saturn games. 3 for $25 here. We have Virtua Fighter Remix. Complete. This is, they basically redid Virtua Fighter because the original Virtua Fighter on Saturn wasn't awesome. So they redid it. We have a Sega Rally International Rally Championship. It's got some stickers and the case is kind of shot, but it is complete. It's in there. And, oh god, now I gotta close the case. Get up there. Get in. Okay. And finally, a game I've been actually wanting, I've kind of been eyeing on eBay lately. It's a Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition. I have the original Daytona on Saturn, but this is, and once again, it was like people weren't happy with the port quality on Saturn when they brought over Daytona, so Sega redid it. Like they did that Virtua Fighter. They added some tracks, they kind of smoothed it out. I believe it's 60 frames per second. So, I mean, I need to replace the case. I don't know with what, because I don't have any like crappy games with great cases in my collection right now. But a great new rock, techno, jazz, and funk music. Awesome. So, yeah. How about 3 Saturn games in the $5 game box? We'll do a pickup recap coming up next. It's been a good season. I can't wait to go over all of it. Thanks for watching, everyone. All right. As we wrap up this season, the $5 game box, we should do an update on our $5 game box game goals. We're currently sitting at $35.31 in our online funds. Still aiming for Gun Neck or Radiant Silver Gun. We had a lot of money, but I took some out to make that big purchase an episode or two ago. Young Indiana Jones, Secret of Mana. However, since the last episode months ago, I have made a few sales on both Mercari and eBay. So let's just get to it. Let me get my pen here. All right. I had to write them all down. We got like 5 or 6 sales. All right. First we had... Crap, I can't keep the lid on. 1530. That was from the sale of Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword Complete. The complete one that I bought at a garage sale in Billings, Montana. Spent $5, got a couple games. That was one of them. $15.30 earned. We also have a sale, $9. This was for Little King Story. Little King Story we picked up at a pawn shop in Billings, I believe, for $4. So that's nice. Then we have another $9. That was for the sale of New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Also picked up for $4 at that pawn shop in Billings. $20.82. That was for the sale of a Logitech trackball mouse that we bought at a garage sale last summer for $1. I finally got around to cleaning it and selling it and earned some big money or decent money on that. Finally, we have 802. That was for the sale of Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, just the case, manual, and the music disc. Did not have the game, so we earned $8.02 on that. I believe, let's see. Yep, those were our 5 sales. So we add that up, the sales, we earned $62.14. So total now, we have $97 and what was it, 45 cents. So as we wrap up season 2 of the $5 game box, that's what we're sitting at in online funds to try to get one of our goal games. Which, the price of these 2 games, that's a little bit less than halfway there. Probably about 40% there, 45% there. If we keep going and assuming I don't take any money out of these funds to purchase stuff locally. Which you never know, we may have to do. But as of right now, $97.45. And I think I only have one thing for sale online right now, and that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone PS2. A lot of people looking, a lot of people watching the item on Mercari, but nobody's purchased it yet. It's been up for, gosh, at least 2 months now. So we'll see. I'm sure it'll sell eventually. I'm in no rush. You know, I just want to build this up slowly so we can get one of these. Gun Neck, NES games are kind of coming down right now. So maybe by the time we get these funds up, that would have come down a little bit. Radiant Silver Gun's kind of holding steady at around $200. All right, we got the I got the stuff out. doing the price charting right now to do the pickup recap. That pawn shop put all my games in an Arby's bag. So all those games I bought from the pawn shop, these ones right here and whatnot, they came in somebody's lunch bag. Hopefully they didn't spill any horsey sauce on my games. All right, pickup recap coming up. All right, here we are finally back in Cassaday Juice Daddy. A long-awaited pickup recap to this episode, whatever it is, of the $5 game box. And literally, I don't know. I've been putting together this episode, trying to game hunt for it, for more than a couple, 3, 4 months? 3 months at least. And, whew, well, let's just get to it, because we finally did get some half-decent stuff. So, we'll use pricecharting.com values. Once again, price charting is a guide, not a Bible. Values, good, as of 8:44 Mountain Standard Time on January 13th. Here we go. Now, you saw these in the video, I believe, but I actually didn't spend any $5 game box money on them because I was going to end the $5 game box. So you've already seen these on a pickup video on the channel probably a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was a few weeks ago, last month. But I intended for it to be $5 game box hunting. But when I went to Great Falls and didn't find anything but this right here, I was like, oh, you know what? Let's just kill this until garage sale season. I'm tired of, scraping the bottom of the barrel at these thrift stores and these pawn shops, anywhere I'm at. Let's just take a breather, focus on some other stuff, and then when the weather turns and garage sales come, we'll do $5 again, and we'll start, because we had, my God, we had a really good season of game hunting for the $5 game box. There's a ton of great stuff in here. But I'll just do these real quick since I intended to pick up for the $5 game box, although the money didn't come out of the funding wallet, the Legend of Zelda funding wallet, which I believe has $49.75 in it. 20, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. I've got 3/4, $49.75. That's kind of where we're going to end and pick up once garage sales pick back up. That's what we're going to start with, unless I sell something, which I don't think I have anything to sell locally. I may have a couple things like selling Macari to get those game goal games, but I don't think I've got anything that would really sell locally. So anyway, Lakers versus Celtics in NBA playoffs. Legendary sports game. One of the few basketball games you can actually play with as Jordan, and he's OP as all hell. So it's really cheap. It's not worth anything. $4.01. But it's really fun to go back to. Speaking of sports games that are really fun to go back to, NHL 94. This is the legend. This is it. This is the GOAT right here. A complete in-box copy of NHL 94 goes for $15.69 according to price charting. What do we get it for? $3? And it's complete. It's immaculate. They had 2 other copies. I should have just bought all 3, and if they looked at me funny, like, why are you buying all 3? Just say, I just really love hockey. But, I've got this complete in box already. I probably could sell it for 10. I'm putting in the 300 sub contest. I don't know where we're at. I haven't looked at my sub count recently, but I'm assuming one day the channel will grow to 300 subs. I know I've been saying that for many months now, but one day it's going to happen. I knew it was going to take some time. But when this channel reaches 300 subs, I'm going to do a contest and give away a whole bunch of games. And right now, as I'm collecting, I'm finding games to throw in there. We're going to throw this copy of NHL 94 in there. This is, of all sports games to go back to from back in the day, NHL 94, most definitely. And I think I've got this too. I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure both of these are going in the sub contest box for when we have that sub contest. One thing I'm definitely keeping from that Great Falls trip is this Doom VFR. I can't believe I found this. They had it priced at $9. And focus on that right there. There it is. However, they're doing 25% off plus an extra 1%, as each day gets closer to Christmas. I think I wound up with 31% off. So I got this for $6 and change. I keep the receipt in there. I did. Alias, Smith & Jones in Great Falls, $6.21 is what I paid for it. So there is, it's complete. It is in there. It's all also had this, the demo disc, PlayStation VR demo disc 2.0, which I already have with my VR. So I don't know what to do with it. I could throw it in the 300 sub box, but what do you got? Do you have any use for it? If you have VR, you probably have the demo disc. So according to price charting, this is worth $17.15. So getting it for just over $6 is great, and I can make a little money if I really wanted to by taking it to GameStop and trading in for $8.40. But we're going to keep it. All right, now stuff we actually spent money on out of the $5 GameBox funding wallet. By the way, I moved the games out of that Arby's bag, and they're now in my the M&M's pickup bag, as I like to call it. M&M's, melt in your mouth, not in your hands. Pay me, M&M's. Pay me. Please, somebody pay me. All right, so this next little round of games. I mean, this just, I'm going to call this video The Struggle. This just exemplifies why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop worrying about, going out to these damn pawn shops and thrift stores and trying to find stuff. And just, if I'm out and about and I got some time to kill and I'm in an area, I'll walk into a thrift store or a pawn shop. But I'm not going to go out and spend any dedicated time of my time trying to go out and find stuff. Because this just exemplifies the stuff I was picking up. I think mostly just to have something, to fill an episode. And I don't want to game collect, I want to find something so I can put something on YouTube. I mean, Far Cry Vengeance, I didn't have it. And I think I got it for $2 or $3. It was a half price sale at a pawn shop. And it's complete and it's in fine shape, but it's worth $5.79. And while I didn't have it, and I really like the Wii and even collecting games for the Wii, it's a game I'm pretty damn skippy. I'm never ever going to play. So it's just part of the Wii collection now. So same thing. I think this was the same time. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've shot the clips you've seen in this episode. Need for Speed Rivals Complete Edition is worth $10. I think, how much should we pay at this pawn shop? $8 total, I believe. So, or maybe it was a $6. I forget. So we got a good deal on it, and I know this game's half decent, and it's got all the DLC, but still, it's... Then there's this other pawn shop, where same thing, half price. A lot of pawn shops around here are doing half price games lately. I guess, games probably like this probably just aren't moving. They sit there and put them on their shelves for $10, and then people look at them funny. So here's Zombie Vikings Ragnarok Edition. Includes exclusive content, whatever. Worth $9.89 according to price charting. I think they had it priced at $10 with half price. So I got it for like $5. And then probably the most exciting one was this Sopranos Road to Respect limited edition with the dust cover. So there's that game. I don't know if there's much difference between the game and the regular edition game, or if there even is a regular edition game. Has a little poster inside there of the Sopranos. I've never watched the show. I probably should get into the show. Oh, it's got a manual, a poster, and a limited edition. I don't know what is this, an art book? Sorry, I haven't really looked at it yet. Yep, this is kind of an art book, sort of. And it's got 2 discs. They're both in great shape. Great. Sopranos Road to Respect limited edition is worth $12.23 complete according to price charting. I think this wound up being around $3. So, all right. Okay, let's see here. So we'll do the big pawn shop pickup. The big pawn shop pickup, which kind of led to all right, let's put together one more episode. Nice little, once again, another half price, and I call it a pawn shop. They call it New to You Pawn Depot and Thrift. So are you a thrift? Are you a pawn shop? They're a little bit of both. They expect donations, and then they do pawn shop prices. So half off. So here's a little SNES game we don't have. It's a D-Force. I don't even know what type of game it's at. I mean, they had it priced at $8, which I never would have paid. But then, half off, $4. I'll toss $4 towards a SNES game I don't have. It's worth $7 according to price charting. I know this game's a stinker because I played the demo back in the day with the official PlayStation Magazine demo disc. I've already tried to pronounce it once this episode, so I won't again. It's a Star Wars fighting game on PS1. It's in immaculate condition like it's never been played, and maybe the previous owner of this title knew it shouldn't be played. That's why it's so immaculate. They had it priced $5, half off, $2.50. It's worth $8.99. Here's this Dark Forces. I already opened all these, so I'm not going to do it. They had it priced at $6. Price charting has this complete at $8.98. Is this complete? It has all the, it has the disc, has the manual, it even has the back cover. I probably just need a regular old CD case. I could probably put it all together again. But it's don't have it, and I think this is better than the old fighting game. And $8.98. I said $8.99 on the fighting game, $8.98 on this one. Here's a resale that I need from this trip. I've sold one of these on Mercari before. I believe just a case and manual or case and disc one, but now I've got it complete. And of course, I've already owned it. So, maybe a recouper. Here Comes the Pain holds some value for some reason. I'm not quite sure why this SmackDown game over all the other SmackDown games. I remember playing it back in the day along with the others. I don't remember it particularly being that much better than one or the other. But here we are. And they had $10 on it, and it's been sitting there for a while, like I said. According to price charting, it's worth $17.99 complete, so I paid $5. I think the previous one I sold for around $15-ish on Mercari. It took a while, but it did sell, so it's something I could list there. I don't think I can get much locally for it, much more than the $5 I paid for it. I don't know if I can resell it for $10 locally, because, game hunters hunt the same pawn shops and thrift stores I do, so if it's been sitting there for them, they've already passed on it. I may throw it up on Mercari. We'll see. This one, like I said, Robin Hood, Defender of the Crown, a Capcom title, not worth a dime, $5.40 complete, and according to the back cover, based on original classic Defender of the Crown, which I have right here. Oh, I don't want to spill all my games out, but there it is. We had it in the $5 game box already. So apparently a remake of this. This is kind of a hidden gem. It's not valuable. Actually, it's that same pawn shop. They had a $5 marking on there. So that's how much I paid for it. I don't know why you think a decent Capcom title would be worth at least 10 to 12. So I don't know. I don't know if they've made 100,000 of these that were sitting on shelves. I don't know why it's sitting so low, but there it is. The most interesting PS2 title for sure is this Red Ninja End of Honor. Unfortunately, the only one not complete. Disc only. The complete in box value was around $20. The disc only value was around $12-ish. I paid $6. We'll call it with the case $15-ish, maybe. Certainly looks interesting. Some interesting PS3 titles that we picked up. We have Need for Speed Shift Unleashed 2 Limited Edition. That's a mouthful. Price charting has this valued at $10.70. We paid $3. Complete. Test Drive Unlimited 2. Price charting has this valued at $11. We paid $2.50. King of Fighters 12. They've had this in the store for a long time as well. Nobody was biting at the $18 price tag. I'm not a big fan of the King of Fighters series myself. Let's see, I paid $9. We're $17.09 according to price charting. I love that cover. The art of King of Fighters is amazing. I'm just not a big fan of... I'm not a huge fighting game fan, so I stick to the the Street Fighters and whatnot, the Tekkens. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. They had it priced at $18, so I paid $9. Complete inbox value $27.24. So definitely a good little find at this pawn shop / thrift store, and a nice game if you can find it at a pawn shop for either PS3 or Xbox 360. Don't think the Wii one has any value, or not much, maybe like $10-11. All right, and finally, we finally used up that credit we had at the game store. It's been sitting in the funding wallet for all season, so almost a year now. We've been sitting on this credit, never using it. So finally, to wrap up the season, just go use it and put some Saturn games. He had these Saturn games. I think they priced them at like $8 each, or 3 for $20. So I mean, dang, I'll get them. He threw in MLB for free. I think I explained this is the only baseball game I had as a kid. It's LJN. It's a stinker. But, it has a little nostalgia value for me. I didn't pay a dime for it. So, awesome. And I explained Dash Galaxy. I could have swore I had it, so I let it sit on that shelf forever and ever and ever and ever. Probably an overpay because he wanted like $10 for this. $10 or 3 for $25 on common SNES or common NES titles. Dash Galaxy's worth nothing. $3.28. So I think he hooked me up. That's good. But I definitely got a smoking deal on these Saturn titles. Virtua Fighter Remix they put out Virtua Fighter, and it was kind of a clunker, so they went back. I don't know what they did. They did the same thing to this Daytona game that we're going to get to. They kind of redid it and put out the better version. So here's Virtua Fighter Remix, worth $19.88 complete, according to price charting. And then the couple racing games. The boxes aren't in the best shape. They're definitely broken. The hinges are broken, so they don't open great. This has not for resale stickers all over it. Sega Rally Championship. It is complete. Disc and manual are great. It's just the cases suck, and most of his, common Sega Saturn titles had horrible cases. So there's really nothing even to swap out on. This one's even got a tape job going on up here. But this is worth $22.53 according to price charting. So, awesome. And finally, I was glad to pick this up. Once again, the case is in horrible shape. It doesn't. The thing is falling off, the jewel case. These Saturn. I probably need to get some replacements. I saw some replacements on sale, I think, on eBay. Daytona, the Championship Circuit Edition. Once again, like I said about Virtua Fighter, they just redid it. They put out Daytona. People are disappointed. It was kind of cut back from the arcade version. So they smoothed the frame rate, they added some music tracks, they added a couple tracks, and it comes out, and you could tell because of the red disc. The original Daytona USA on Saturn is a blue disc, then you got the red disc, which is the Championship Edition, and you see what I said about the case. But a complete box copy is worth $22.99. And so if you have to pick one Daytona game for Sega Saturn, and you don't have the money for the Netlink edition, which very few people do, or if you can even find that one, Championship Edition. All right, that is our pickups for this final episode of this season of the $5 Game Box. Like I said, I'll be out game hunting or whatnot, but I'm not going to dedicate, all right, it's Saturday afternoon, time to do the rounds of all the pawn shops and thrift stores in Bozeman, Montana. No, I'm tired of it. Tired of going in there and, like I said, mucking around in there. So, we'll pick up seasons officially again once garage sales start happening. I will do kind of a pickup recap of the season coming up here in a few weeks, probably in about 2 weeks. We'll go through all the awesome finds we had this season of the $5 Game Box. Slight hiatus, not a channel hiatus. We are going to do some other stuff like collections and maybe a couple live streams. So I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not taking a hiatus. We're just going to put these in the overall big collection and start anew once the weather turns and it's nice out and there's garage sales. All right? So thanks for watching $5 Game Box Season 2. Look forward to Season 3. Look forward to other stuff I'm going to do here on the channel. And thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you wish. Take care. I'll see you soon.